Hello and welcome back to the video on Respect and to Money in the Bank 2024 out of 10. Of course, a big show as it always is with Money in the Bank. The two Money in the Bank ladder matches, as well as much more, including a six-man tag, Bloodline and Cody, Damian Priest against Seth Rollins for the world title. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. We had the pre-show, had some cool musical performance at the end, but yeah, nothing of note. The first contest was a men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Uso made his way through the crowd as the first competitor to be introduced, while McIntyre was the last. Surprisingly, everyone waited for the bell to get the going instead of fighting as soon as they had the chance. We also didn't see anyone roll right out of the ring, which almost happens all the time. The Scottish Warrior was the first to use a ladder as a weapon and took out a few opponents before trying to climb up for the briefcase. It was a standard match. The stronger wrestlers provided a face for the high flyers to hit risky spots, and everyone took their fair share of damage from the ladders. We didn't get anything groundbreaking, but this had enough well-performed spots to keep fans entertained from bell to bell. One thing that stuck out was how nobody felt more dominant than anyone else. Everyone had their moment to shine and their fingers on the briefcase at one point. Andrade and Hayes had some of the most impressive moments, but everyone looked good. When it looked like Uso was going to claim the briefcase and win, McIntyre threw a ladder into him like a javelin knocked him down. The former WWE champion climbed up and claimed victory for himself to end a solid match. McIntyre may have won, but Andrade Hayes were the standout here. They created several highlight reel moments together and separately. And yeah, I thought this was a really brilliant match to open up. A really good ladder match. For me, the right result, obviously tied in story, which we're going to get into later, but yeah, this was great stuff. 8 out of 10. We then got the Intercontinental Title on the line in the second match as Zayn faced Breaker, a man who had been a constant thorn in his side for weeks. As expected, the Canadian fans gave Zayn a warm welcome and he looked genuinely touched as he soaked it in. Breaker showed off his power by easily hurling Zayn after their first lock-up. He also showed off some speed with a quick go behind and a second throw. He made it seem like he was toying with Zayn, so the champion slapped him to show he wasn't intimidated. Having to follow a six-person ladder match would be difficult for anyone, but they did a good job making sure they weren't lost in the shuffle. Zayn is one of the biggest underdog performers in the business, so he made Breaker look even more dangerous than usual by selling every move as if he was close to giving up. The longer this went on, the more it proved Breaker is no one-trick pony. He's a versatile performer who's going to have a long career if he stays healthy. Unfortunately for him, this wasn't his night. The underdog from the underground hit a lever kick and pinned him to retain his title. Yeah, I thought it was a performance that made both men look great. I was surprised Breaker didn't win, to be honest, but I don't think it will harm him because it still had a really good performance. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. But yeah, this lone gets 7 out of 10 from me. John Cena then came out in quick and unceremonious fashion and announced he was retiring from WWE. The 16-time world champion spoke fondly of the Canadian fans who have been with him for his whole career. Cena said the 2025 Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania will be his last. But you know, it sounds like he might wrestle until December. So yeah, potentially a full year of Cena retirement. So hopefully he's as full-time as possible in that year. But yeah, this was a shock. I didn't see it coming. But yeah, I mean, Cena retiring, it's going to be a shock seeing the go. But yeah, still so much time to have dream matches, and yeah, like I said, a really good promo here from Cena. So yeah, bring on 2025. But before it's time for Damian Priest against Seth Rollins for the world title. Rollins had the entire arena singing along to his entrance music as he made his way out for the world title match against Priest. As soon as the bell rang, they were trading strikes and trying for a quick win. The Archer of Infamy avoided the pedigree and scored the first 2 count for his seatplex. Both men kept their eyes on the stage, expecting McIntyre to show up and cash in his newly won briefcase. Even though both competitors performed well, there was something off about this match. It may have been a lack of build-up in the feud, it may have been predictability or how it played out. Wherever it was, it kept it from reaching its full potential. After Rollins hit a Falcon Arrow, the ref declared a 2 count from what was clearly a pin. The crowd began booing loudly until McIntyre showed up and handed him the briefcase to join the match. This bell rang and they started fighting. Now it's a triple threat match. Nobody was disqualified when Punk showed up and attacked McIntyre with a steel chair. He obliterated the Scottish Warrior and then grabbed the world title and knocked him out with the last shot. Punk sat on the announce table and watched as Priest hit the South of Haven for the win. The shenanigans toward the end added some drama to the situation and helped make this bell a lot more exciting. Priest retained. Rollins is protected by not taking the pin, and the feud between McIntyre and Punk has gone up several notches, and yeah, the Visionary expressed his anger for the best in the world, setting up that match down the line as well. I thought this all played out really well, and yeah, the fallout from this presumably on Raw etc is going to be spectacular. Great stuff. 8 out of 10. We then got the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Naomi was the first woman out. As soon as it started, everyone cleared out of the ring to steal a ladder except for Green. She stole Sky's ladder and was too afraid to climb it, so she tried to knock it down using the ladder. The contest quickly turned into short sequences with 2 or 3 competitors at a time, while everyone else was down at ringside until it was their turn. The setup allowed us to see several different combinations of opponents work together, but it led to a weird pace for several minutes. We saw lots of good individual spots. with little cohesion or reason for most of what we saw. The crowd took a while, but eventually got into it and chanted "This is awesome" after a few entertaining moments in a row. After the halfway mark, it felt like everyone clicked into gear, and it turned into an enjoyable mess that outshined the men's match for me. After Green came close to winning, Stratton pulled down the briefcase, came to win in the future title shot. And yeah, I have to say, I think Stratton was the right win all along. She's been so impressive since she came to the main roster, and her character fits it perfectly. So yeah, a really fun match, and for me, the right winner. 8 out of 10 for me, great stuff. It was then main event time. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu representing the Bloodline, with Tonga lower by their side against Rhodes, Orton and Owens. KO was given the same warm welcome as the Avon Canadian guys on the show. Rhodes and Sikoa looked like they were given for the teams, but Tama tagged in instead. You could tell what was going on as intense as the time went on, so it made sense for them to start with a slow mythological face. As soon as Fatu tagged in for the first time, you could feel a change in the atmosphere, especially after we noticed a DDT from Orton. For such a bitter feud, it was surprising how long it took to devolve into a huge fight. Sikoa accidentally knocked out the ref, which ended up saving him from being pinned after taking every finisher from the babyface team. The ref was crushed against the steel sets, and Fatu was put for an announce table. We saw just about everyone hit at least one finisher as they built towards the finish. The official was hurled back in the ring just in time for Sikoa to pin Rhodes with a Samoan spike. This felt like a long time in this match, but it also felt like a repeat of all the same Bloodline tropes we've been seeing for the past few years. At least Sikoa pinning Rhodes will likely lead to a title match at SummerSlam. So yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 for me. I thought this was a good match, with probably without being the best on the night though. And for me, I think probably wasn't the main event of the night, to be honest. That should have been one of the Money in the Bank ladder matches, or Priest v Rollins, with the stuff went down. So yeah, I think it gets 7 out of 10 for me. It's a good match, obviously building towards SummerSlam, but did it do as much for me as the other matches on the card, or some of the other matches on the card? For not quite. 7 out of 10. Overall, Money in the Bank gets a 7 out of 10 for me. I thought, I thought it's a pretty good pay-per-view. Both of the matches that we got were great. I was a big fan of the whole fail cash-in stuff. The main event for me, maybe a bit out of place. It wasn't bad or anything like that, but I just kind of felt like it was a bit out of place on the card. But I thought on the whole, still a fun show. Gets 7 out of 10 from me. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.